Hey everyone, Danny's been here. Welcome to the GitLab Runner 14.2 Kickoff video. As always, I'll cover some of the few key things that we're working on in the upcoming release of GitLab, which is in this case GitLab 14.2. Hey, I just want to draw your attention to the screen really quickly. This is the category direction page for GitLab Runner. So if you're looking for an overview of the GitLab Runner product vision, the strategy, as well as some details in terms of what we have planned in near-term releases, this is sort of your starting point to kind of understand the overall landscape. So it's at about.gitlab.com/direction/verify/runner. So again, you can come in here, you can take a look at the vision, and then we also have a section here where it talks about what's next in the various runner categories: Runner Core, the distribution of GitLab Runner, Runner Cloud, the runners in GitLab and COM, and then the other space, Runner Enterprise Management and User Experience. So in terms of 14.2, we have a 14.2 Runner Team iteration plan. It's here in our GitLab Runner project. It's issue number 27994. So now you've started a division page and you've gone into the iteration plan. Here are the details in terms of what we're working on and trying to get delivered and shipped in 14.2. I'm just going to cover a few of these things that have rolled over from 14.0 and 14.1 very briefly, because we talked about those in the last previous kickoff videos. The first thing I want to call your attention to that's a rollover is in the Kubernetes space. So again, continuing our theme on investment in Kubernetes. This is adding support for the Windows build pods and the Kubernetes executor. As I mentioned in 14.1 kickoff, we had hoped to get this shipped as well as early as 14.0. That hasn't happened, so we're hoping to wrap this up in 14.2. The other thing that's happening in terms of Kubernetes in 14.2 is this issue here, which is around the Kubernetes executor and around pod cleanup specifically for the Kubernetes executor. This is step one in that broader feature set in terms of capabilities. So our goal is to get this done in 14.1, and then there's a follow-on plan in 14.2 as well as in 14.3 to add a second step. So again, this is enabling us to have better pod cleanup capabilities for the GitLab Runner Kubernetes executor. So those are the big things that are happening in terms of Kubernetes issues that have rolled over from 14.0 or 14.1, and that we're trying to get shipped here now in 14.2. In terms of new bugs and or features that are in 14.2, the one thing I just want to call your attention to is this bug, which is related to our custom executor for GitLab Runner. And what's happening with this bug is that apparently the correct exit codes are not being surfaced in the error logs. And so the purpose of this fix is to address that issue for the custom executor. In terms of brand new features and capabilities in the Runner Core distribution, we were actually pretty close to getting this shipped in 14.1. We didn't mention it in our 14.1 kickoff video because most of the work on this issue or this feature set was part of a community MR, specifically by the IBM team. But at this point, we're pretty close, and so we're highlighting it now today in the 14.2 kickoff, and that is support, GitLab Runner support specifically for the IBM Power 9 architecture, and more specifically Linux OS. So a big shout out to the IBM team, Sony Garani and Rafael Pence. They've been helping us a bunch in the background getting this thing going. As a matter of fact, if you browse here very quickly, there's actually a blog post that's already out there that gives you a lot of detail in terms of using GitLab Runner on Power 9. There's actually also in the linked issue, you can actually download today a GitLab Runner binary for Power 9 from the IBM distribution servers. But what we're doing in 14.2 is that we're actually folding that support back into the core GitLab Runner distribution process. And so in 14.2, GitLab Runner on Power 9 will be a fully supported feature set or capability as part of the GitLab Runner distribution. The only other thing I want to call out for this one is that for the 14.2 release, our support on Power 9 is specifically only for the Linux operating system. On Power 9, you can install AIX, you can also install IBM I. Those operating systems are currently not in scope. I believe there's at least one follow-on issue already in terms of AIX. If there is demand and so on from the user community and from our customers for adding support for AIX as well as IBM 9, we'll certainly consider those in terms of roadmap prioritization as we look into the back of this year and into next year. But right now, for this first release, this MVC, the Linux operating system is what's going to be supported for Power 9. So really looking forward to getting that platform support capability in to GitLab Runner Core. In terms of Runner Cloud, we don't have anything major in terms of customer-facing features per se that is shipping in Runner Cloud in Fortinet 2. We are continuing work in improving some of our backend process. The end goal for that work is improving the scalability and reliability of the Runner Cloud offering on GitLab.com. In terms of Runner Enterprise Management, UI and user experience, you'll actually notice in the Fortinet 1 release post a couple of iterative features and capabilities in this space. Some of the foundational work that's been happening, I've been mentioning behind the scenes, is starting to come to fruition. So you'll see some of those notices in the Fortinet 1 release post. In Fortinet 2, there aren't any customer-facing features per se that are planned. We're continuing some of the iterative work to set the stage for new features and capabilities and follow-on releases such as the Fortinet 3, or specifically maybe the Fortinet 4 and Fortinet 5 releases. So to recap, for the Runner Core and Fortinet 2, we have a couple of Kubernetes issues that we're trying to get over the finish line. We also have the one other issue I didn't talk about, which is the variable inside other variable feature, which I've spoken about for quite a few releases. It still is not yet over the finish line in terms of enabling that feature flag, so we hope to get that done in Fortinet 2 as well. So some Kubernetes issues, the variable inside other variable issue for Runner Core, and then the GitLab Runner and Power 9 architecture support is coming in Fortinet 2. Finally, just as a heads up, I won't be here for the Fortinet 3 kickoff. I'm actually going to be on PTO, but Jackie Porter, Group Product Manager for the Verify team, as well as Elliot Rushton, the Engineering Manager for Runner, will be your host in the GitLab Fortinet 3 kickoff video. So until next time, I'll be back for Fortinet 4. This is Darren signing off. Talk to you soon. Cheers.